Traveling to the other side of the world is always bound to be quite the adventure, but I don't think y'all are prepared for what this journey from Arkansas to the Maldives was like. Here's how I went from this tiny dot over here all the way to this tiny dot over here. I started off saying bye to my family in Little Rock, Arkansas, and since there's no international flights, I took off to Atlanta. I went to the lounge to have a few pre-flight anxiety drinks, and when it was finally time to board my flight, this is when it finally hit me that I'm leaving the country again. And not only leaving the country, I'm going really, really far. Luckily, I still had these sleep aids from the last time I had a breakdown getting on a flight to Europe. I sat by a lovely French family and passed the time watching my comfort movies while we took off to the other side of the world. And this is where things get really interesting. We woke up in Paris after an 8-hour flight, and I immediately needed to find somewhere to take more of a nap. This layover was just under 12 hours. Now, I know you might be thinking, that's quite a long time. But honestly, with my flight anxiety that's popped up over the last year or so, I've been doing more and more of these self-imposed layovers. Going somewhere for a night or two, or maybe just spending more hours than I would in the airport so I can hype myself up for the next flight. And given that this next flight was also 8 hours overnight, and the Paris airport is modern, clean, and had a lounge for me to hang out in, I was more than happy to spend my day here. When it was time to board the flight to Abu Dhabi, I had actually let the excitement finally kick in. When I got on the flight, I saw that I had been upgraded. They served us dinner. I got this cute little champagne in a glass. I felt very, very fancy. My first time having scallops on a plane. But then I put those eye masks on and went to sleep. Woke up to this beautiful sunset, and then I started freaking out that my bag was only checked to Abu Dhabi. I made a beeline past immigration, customs, bag check-in, security, and back to my gate. But I guess the Abu Dhabi airport is just so high-tech that this all probably took 45 minutes or less. At this point, I think the exhaustion was setting in though, and I was getting a little bit delirious. Luckily, I had picked a window seat on the left side of the plane, so I got views like this the entire time. I knew I wasn't going to be in the mood for a speedboat or a ferry at this time though, after such a long travel day. So I ended up booking a hotel in Malé and spent the night just relaxing before my volunteer program started the next day. I think this might have been a little bit of a hack though, because I think this sleep schedule got me right on time and I had very minimal jet lag. Anyways, it was in total over 30, probably closer to 40 hours of travel. One of the main reasons I did all of this is because I got all of my biggest expenses for this trip paid for. More parts in the future to show and explain how exactly I did this for free. But let me know, would you put up with 2 overnight flights to get to your bucket list spot?